And now, it's RFL Emmy Award-winning Richard French live.
Welcome back. Earlier this hour, we told you how teachers, transit workers, other public employees in the metropolitan area are fighting to keep their jobs. Well, it turns out our four-legged friends at the zoo are feeling the pinch as well. For more on this, let's bring in Regina Arsanya.
Well, that's right, Rich. With New York State in fiscal crisis, cultural institutions like the Bronx Zoo and New York Aquarium are facing major cuts to their 2011 budgets. The biggest cuts the two venues have seen in over 10 years. 45% on the state level and now a similar cut on the city level, which can mean less venues where children can be educated and jobs can be created.
If New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg gets his wish, exhibits like this one at the Bronx Zoo,
even reaching speeds up to 25 miles per hour,
may get the axe come next year. Mayor Bloomberg says every group needs to feel the pinch coming down from Albany. The state is facing a $9.2 billion shortfall. But John Cavelli, the spokesperson for the Wildlife Conservation Society, the group that runs the Bronx Zoo and the New York Aquarium, says the cuts they're facing are too severe.
We understand that times are tough. We understand that difficult decisions need to be made. All we're asking is use a scalpel and not an axe.
This year, the zoo and the aquarium got around $9 million from the city. But for the fiscal year 2011, both institutions stand to lose 42% of that. A budget threat that could mean cutting staff, closing exhibits, maybe even shipping animals to other zoos.
This is the biggest cut we've ever had. Everything is on the table. We have to look at our staff allocation. We have to look at exhibits. We can't fire our animals or furlough them. You know, we have to make really tough decisions.
Decisions that visitors weren't really happy to hear about.
The more they cut back, the less we're going to have to enjoy. You know, we want our kids to enjoy this stuff when we get, to that age.
Part of their childhood, then part of their childhood can be taken away. Like if there's something that's been a family tradition and it's taken away, it's almost like it was part of you and it hurts you.
The zoo that was down by us in Catskill, they closed that, and I haven't been to a zoo since I was 10, and I missed going to the zoo because I went every year, and I mean if they were to close a couple days, it would just be really sad.
This is such a nice experience for our kids to come, and even for us.
Yeah.
How often do you get to do something like this? So yeah, I wouldn't be for it. I'd be against it.
Attendance is up at the Bronx Zoo and the New York Aquarium. Officials say more than 2 million people came through the gates just last year. A third of them, however, get in for free because they are either part of a school group or come in on a day when they don't have to pay. But even so, the Wildlife Conservation Society says each year they pump major money back into the state's economy. Something that may not happen in the future if the proposed budget is passed.
The one that people don't really think about when you hear the Bronx Zoo is jobs and job creation. We're a major engine of economic development for the region. We generate over $400 million of economic activity as an organization here in New York. So when you cut us, what you're really doing is you're hurting the people of New York and hurting this wonderful institution, but you're also damaging the economic vitality of the area. People need to understand culture is not a luxury. Culture in New York is very important to our local economy. It's very important for the education of our children, and it's very important for the quality of life. It's the reason why people live in New York.
The Bronx Zoo and New York Aquarium employ more than 1,600 full, part-time, and seasonal workers from the area. Both parks were also visited by more than 400,000 school children last year. Rich?
Thank you very much, Regina.